Hello Virgo, how are you guys doing? Are you well? How are you feeling today? I'm doing a check-in with your person for you. I'm asking a very specific question. I am asking Spirit if you will be hearing from your person in the next 6 to 8 weeks. That's the time frame that I'm giving. Based on the energy, based on where they're at, we're looking at what it is that Spirit wants you to know. And then we're also taking a look at what is possibly blocking you in this connection, or just blocking you in general in your relationship with love. If you feel that you are supposed to be moving on from this person, or perhaps you're not sure about it, but you still hung up on them, you're still waiting, wondering if they're going to make the changes and do what it is that they need to do in order to be with you, and you want to know, well, what is it that keeps you in that place? Perhaps you shouldn't be there, perhaps, or maybe there's something you should know or understand. Whatever Spirit wants to bring through for us. Those are the questions that I'm answering for you today, Virgo. So, welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm High Priestess Edith, No Tools Medium, Intuitive Reader, and Spiritual Healer. My message is channeled, so really it has an energy and a life of its own. Everything that I say to you from the time that I begin to record until I finish is me channeling. Everything is part of your message. I tell a clear and concise story, so you should know if it is your story or not. But I always ask that you check in, that you center yourself. Take a few deep breaths, settle into your intuition. Ask your guides and keepers to guide you, to help you to recognize if this message is for you or not, or if there are parts of the message that are meant for you, and to help you to know and recognize when it is not for you. Okay? Because trying to make things fit that are not meant for you really doesn't serve. Trust your intuition. Ask your guides and keepers to guide you. You've entered a sacred space. The archangels in the north, south, east, and west have their sacred flames burning. For those of you who have taken the time to like, to comment, or subscribe now with this video or previous videos of mine, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do. And I love the energy exchange. I do start my readings with a meditation, and I open a channel for healing for my subscribers. I do a remote healing whilst I do the reading for breakthrough healing in your relationship with yourself and your relationship with love. So it makes it possible for me to do that for you as well. Okay, let's see what Spirit has to say for you. So Virgo, I am seeing you're in a situation where I'm seeing two people. I'm seeing two people. So these are people that are, look, we all have intuition, okay? We all have gifts. There's not one human being that doesn't have gifts. There's not one creature that doesn't have intuition. We all have it. We all have a soul. We all have, that soul has intelligence. That soul has intelligence. Okay, so we all have intuition. Some of us are more open to it than others. Some of us, our intuition is more blocked than others. So what I'm seeing here is there are two people. The one is our Spirit is showing it to me is like it's two, possibly two females or two feminine. So if you're the divine feminine and you're a male, and your person is a divine masculine, then and your person is a female, for example, then it's two females that I'm seeing here. No. Then it's two males I'm seeing here. So I'm seeing two divine feminines. So if you're a male and you're the divine feminine, and your person is female and they're the divine masculine, then it's you and another person that is possibly also of interest to your person. Okay, so it's like a third party. I'm confusing myself. I just asked my guide, because this doesn't happen to me. I'm very, very clear and focused when I'm reading. My guide said, it's not me, I'm picking up on your person's energy. Your person's very confused. Very, very confused. They don't know what the right thing to do is yet. Because the one person that I'm seeing here is also interested in the esoteric, in growing spiritually. But I'm seeing two very distinct people. I'm seeing somebody that is very, very whole. They've been on this intuitive journey for a really long time. And this could possibly be you. And has, you know, really mastered the intuition. Also is very grounded at the same time and knows how to bring that beautiful energy, 5D energy, into the 3D. So living a really good life, living an abundant life, knowing how to live life to the fullest, knowing how to make the most of every situation, being balanced, grounded, emotionally balanced as well. Whereas the other person still has a lot of shadow work to do, and I'm seeing that there's a lot of secrets that this person is keeping. They know that they are not quite okay. So what Spirit shows me is this person is giving your person the impression that they are growing, that they are doing their work, that they are wanting to be spiritual and intuitive and to do the right thing from the right place, but they pretending. They are just using their spirituality as a way to manipulate your person. Your person has a choice to make between the two of you. And honestly, your person cannot really see the forest from the trees at the moment. But Spirit says this cycle is coming to a close. Spirit is closing the cycle. So let's take a look and answer these questions. Spirit, please let us know for, okay, Spirit wants me to shuffle some more. For Virgo, if they will be hearing from their person in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Cycle's closing for sure. Yep, this person's coming to talk. This person's coming to talk. For this collective that I'm reading for here, you will be hearing from your person. So Spirit is, as I'm saying, this person doesn't yet have clarity. They are very, very confused, but they must be speaking to Spirit about this, and they must have been doing this for a while, because Spirit is basically their guides and keepers, is making things happen here for the cycle to close, so that they can automatically find themselves moving in the right direction. Where this person was not speaking to you and there was blocked communication, I'm seeing that coming undone. Where they were stuck in a past situation and with the desire to move forward and possibly not, being neither here nor there, they're coming out of that energy. Yeah, this person has been finding themselves very, very stressed about not having you in their lives, very stressed about begging for clarity. I see this person begging the divine for clarity about what this is with you, because they just couldn't understand what this connection is and if they could trust it. Being in a dark night of the soul, being stressed out, not being able to shake this, has led them to realize that they need to walk away from being burdened, that they need to come to clarity. And they really, really have been working really hard on coming to clarity because they don't want to be, their world's been really cold without you. Thank you, Spirit. Please let us know what is blocking Virgo in this connection and in love in general at the moment. What is the blockage here for them? Spirit says that the blockage is that you feel like you've been a fool. You feel like you've been a fool and you've really, really been reserved as a result. You've sort of been holding back on yourself. And this is... Spirit says you need to remember that nothing comes into your life that doesn't serve you. Everything has meaning, and you doing something from a heart space and from a place of love never ever makes you a fool. And the fact that you allow yourself to believe that based on other people's behavior is a dishonoring of yourself and of your intuition and what you know. Okay? You came into this situation feeling confident, knowing who you are, self-assured. You allow what was happening here, which is as a result of other people's stuff, to affect how your relationship with yourself, the confidence you have in yourself and how you see yourself. That is why you are blocked. You want balance. You want to be treated fairly. You don't want to put yourself into a position that is going to dishonor you. But Spirit says that is not up to anybody else. You are the one that honors you. You are the one that decides how you are treated and how you are not. And you can take a step back from a situation without beating yourself over the head about it because someone else didn't behave the way that you would have liked for them to. You don't have to take other people's actions so personally. It's not an indication of whether or not you are valued. Because somebody is confused, that is more about their inner condition than you. You know who you are. There was a lot of passion here, and you are worried that you allowed yourself to simply just be used. But it is not the case. You know, despite all of the factors, all of the circumstance around this, you know, when you take all of that away, and it's only you and this person and what you've shared, you know what this is. You know that there is so much passion and there is such strength in this connection. This connection has a life of its own, an energy of its own. This person is struggling to catch up. That's it. You know you were good to this person. You know that you came in and you offered them something that it was really hard for them to refuse. Even though they knew they were not completely ready, it was really hard for them to refuse. So they did try and they did, meet you, try and meet you there. They did make an offer of what they'd like for this to be, knowing that their cup might not be full yet and that could cause problems, but they risked that because they didn't just want to say no to something that they've wanted all of their lives. And Spirit is saying you do feel stuck. You feel like you can't move, but it's not real. It's in your head. You are not stuck. You can move. You have karma to balance here, and you have a cycle to close. And Spirit is saying to me, your cycle and your karma to balance here is not that you must go and fix something that's broken here. You need to fix you need to fix how you treated yourself as a result of this, and how you've allowed yourself to shift your perspective of yourself as a result of this. Also, you need to allow yourself to elevate to higher levels of love, which means that you cannot base the essence of any connection on what is happening in the 3D. You need to stay solid to what is happening in the 5D now. This is only some of you are going to be ready to get this. Not everybody's going to be ready to get this. But I'm speaking to those of you who are. Love is love. Love is not the actions that people take. That is why you have parents. You cannot say that parents do not love their children. But some stories are so horrific that even those parents tell a different story. It's as if they were not there. They are in such denial. Why? Because there's such a big disconnect between what they feel for their child and the essence of their being, their state of being. There's such a big disconnect. How you behave in your life is always going to be based on your relationship with yourself. Some people are so broken in their in their relationship with themselves that they cannot even begin. Their relationship with themselves is so fragmented that they cannot even begin to acknowledge all the different pieces that make up who they are. And so they live as though those pieces don't exist. But all those parts of them show up in different areas. And that's why when they behave ugly towards their child or somebody that they love, they will say, it's because you did this. Because it is too much for them to acknowledge that ugliness that they feel inside is just theirs. And it spills out of them. You can have a building. It can have all the windows, all the doors. And if inside it has been littered and there's been waste and there's been food rotting for years and it's been treated like a dumping ground, you can look at it and some will say, yes, but that's a home. It just needs to be cleaned. And others will say, no, that's not a home. That's a squatter. That's a dumping ground. That's not a home. It's messy. Nobody can live there. It has to be a home. People have to be able to live there for it to be a home. Now, some of us are like that. Some of us have the exterior and the structure that makes up a home, a human. But inside of us, it's not conducive for anybody to live. And everything that we do is filtered through that. So it is unhealthy, toxic. It doesn't change that there is a heart and there is love. But if you don't, there is feeling, there is deep emotion. But if you don't love yourself, then it doesn't matter how much you feel on some level. It filters through all of that mess. And by the time it comes out to the other side, it's so distorted. So in relationship, we will meet people that feel very deeply for us. And you can represent aspects of this person to them that they absolutely love. Perhaps you mirror this. But because they haven't treated themselves well for a long time and they don't actually know themselves intimately, intimacy and vulnerability scare people when they are still in a trauma state. And the fact that you represent and mirror that means that they're going to treat you as though you could be a threat. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be rational. You are in your shoes, they are in their shoes. But you can have the emotional maturity to know that people can love me and care about me and not treat me in the way that I want them to treat me, because they don't even know how to treat themselves in that way. And right now it's about them figuring that out. Their relationship with themselves is more important than a relationship with me. And I'm going to love them, hoping that they meet with themselves, even if they never meet me, because that's what love is. And that's why I say, not everybody's ready to hear this. But we have this movie idea of how things are supposed to work out, and we chase that. And people chase that, especially when when their relationship with themselves is void. They chase it in other people, and they will blame their disappointments and their unhappiness on other people. But there's a bigger picture. We come into one another's lives to help, to bring love. And then we forget that that's what we've come to do, and we make it about our ego. But why don't you choose me? And why don't you put me on a pedestal? Why do you make me look like a fool? And now I resent you and I'm bitter towards you because you made me look like a fool. And you forget. Your soul knows. Your soul doesn't care what anybody else thinks. Your soul knows you don't really need somebody to validate you. Your soul knows you've come here to help, to reflect love in that person's direction, to send them love so they can meet with themselves. Because that's all you really want for somebody you love. But you can only do that when you mature in your relationship with yourself and in your relationship with love. And there are even parents in this world who are not mature emotionally, who project their fears onto other people. We have people in society that do that all the time. They project their fears, their limiting beliefs onto everybody else. If you are good and you are happy with what you believe, you won't need to force that down anybody else's throat. You won't need to project that. You won't need to try and raise your inner child, heal your inner child through your own child. You will trust that they have their own journey. So the point that I'm making is that love is not perfect because people are not perfect. Because people forget who they really are. You are source. You are part of source. You are pure positive energy. You are a soul. And this body is a tiny extension of that. But we live our lives as if this body and this life is everything. You only live once. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to live this life from a place of fear. This experience gets to be whatever you make it. And if you allow fear and ego to be the basis of your experience and your existence, then what you are calling forth more of that. That's what you choose. Loving people, loving someone from a soul level is very different. You don't need to have that. It's nice. It's nice to have the person that you love in your bed, to have them by your side and to share beautiful experiences with them. It's nice. But isn't it more important for them to meet with themselves? Wouldn't you wish that for them? If you're in a twin flame connection, they cannot fully see you until they've met themselves. And the themselves, the part of themselves that they are meeting is the part that is symbolic of you. It's the inner feminine. Okay? And you cannot expect them to heal as a divine masculine if you don't get real with yourself about your inner masculine that is egotistical and worried about being a fool and feels that if people behave a certain way, then they deserve a certain outcome. And things have to look a certain way for it to be perfect. If it doesn't look a certain way, then it's not it. It's got to look a certain way so I can feel stable and secure in it. Your stability and your security comes from you, from inside of you. As I said, Virgos, this is for my awakened Virgos. This is not going to be for everybody. If it doesn't make sense to you, let it run down your back. Let it go. You're not ready. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Where we are is where we are. But for some of you, this message is specifically directed to answering this question: why do you feel stuck? You are burdened by belief systems, by ego-based concepts and fear, because you're afraid to embrace a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing relationship and love, because then it means there's this fear. If I'm okay with loving someone and feeling like they didn't choose me, why is Spirit showing me all these children? Okay, again, I'm being shown this. It's like a child resenting their siblings because they feel that the parents love others more than them. That happens when you're so busy looking at what is happening in other people's relationships and not minding your own business. If you focus on your relationship with your mom or with your parents, then you'll never be watching how they are treating or what their relationship is with the other siblings and what might be different to yours. If you are focused on your relationship and the value that you have and what is special about your relationship with them, you will not be comparing yourself with the others. You can trust your intuition and you can trust Spirit. Don't worry about people telling you, oh, but this and that, and when things work this way and that, those old soapy stories. We've got to mature spiritually. We've got to trust intuition. We've got to elevate, and we've got to stop making it about us. So here's the thing. Some people will find themselves saying, this person is so selfish. My DM was only worried about how this all affects them and having choices and having options. How low is that? If you love somebody, you should know and you should behave accordingly. Right? Now, there is a block for many of you when it comes to acknowledging this. But here's the truth. I want my DM to love me so much, to love me and to choose me. I want to be the choice. I want them to not be selfish and to think about how this affects me and how it all affected me, to put my feelings first and to let the karmic go. The karmic is saying the same thing. And the DM is trying to find themselves and to make the right decision. So sometimes when you're not clear on something, it's better to stay where you are and not move forward towards somebody else because you don't have clarity, because you are already breaking somebody's heart. You are already destroying a life that you've built with somebody. So when you're not clear, sometimes it's better to stay where you are, even though you're not happy and comfortable, until you have clarity. So that because the last thing you want to do is make another bad decision. So he is trying to find himself and to find his truth, the right thing to do. It doesn't suit you. It doesn't suit the karmic, whatever. But here's the thing about us human beings. So I'm saying, I want him to do what is right, to choose me, because he's not happy there. Come towards me. He shouldn't be selfish and egotistical. He should put me first because I can get to be selfish and egotistical. Before he meets himself, before he has clarity, before. So you mirror the same thing. You're being selfish too. Isn't it more important for somebody to meet with themselves, to find themselves in their dark night of the soul, to come to clarity, and then to move from that point? We say we love people and we want them to be happy, but really we love them and we want them to be happy with us. We are also learning lessons about love here. We are also learning lessons about love. And putting ourselves in somebody else's shoes is we think we do it easily, but it's not always an easy thing to do. Virgo, this has been your message. Love and light to you. You are an amazing, powerful, beautiful person. Settle into yourself. Trust that, stay there. Don't wrestle with unnecessary 3D details. Don't even talk about it anymore. Don't discuss it. Only speak to source about it. Only get, if you feel you're struggling, get spiritual guidance, get spiritual coaching, get that sort of focused help that moves you forward. Don't talk to people and they're all going to come with their stories about it. Allow yourself to elevate and come from a place of love. Thank you so much for being here with me. I trust that for those of you who are meant to receive this message, that you were able to grasp it. Love and light to you. Do what is best for you. Love yourself. Love yourself fiercely so that you can love your loved ones from that place. And only goodness and abundance can flow from there. If you would like to get a personal reading, if you would like to contact me regarding, taking a look into your personal story, you're welcome to do so. My email is in the description box below. Take care of yourself. Love and light. Until next time. Bye now.